Everything changed in a matter of seconds. Seriously, think about how this league operates. In the National Football League, massive dynasty-altering empires aren't dismantled slowly over a period of years. They fall in the blink of an eye. A single phone call is made behind closed doors. A piece of paper is signed in a front office. And suddenly, the entire balance of power across the league is violently, irreversibly upended. Today, we are looking directly at one of those defining, earth-shattering moments. We're talking about a transaction so massive, so deeply calculated, and so consequential that it hasn't just altered the trajectory of two historic franchises. It has literally sent shockwaves all the way to the defending champions on the other side of the country. We are breaking down the absolute blockbuster trade of superstar wide receiver A.J. Brown.
The league just changed. Period. I want you to take a second and really let that sink in. We have spent months, literally months, listening to the relentless whispers, the endless rumors, the late-night what-ifs debated on every sports network. But right now, today, the speculation is officially over. The reality is here, and honestly, it is staggering. This isn't just your standard off-season player swap to fill a hole on a roster. No way. This is a seismic event that completely redraws the entire 2026 NFL landscape. The Philadelphia Eagles and the New England Patriots have just executed a high-stakes deal that front offices, fans, and analysts will be talking about for decades.
Before we dissect exactly how this absolute masterpiece of a trade went down and the devastating ripple effects it's already causing across the league, welcome to NFL Nexus. We are here to bring you the deepest, most cinematic breakdowns of the moves that actually matter. If you want to truly understand the game behind the game, do yourself a favor and subscribe to the channel right now. Hit that like button on this explainer to help us out. Comment your thoughts as we go because I want to hear your take on this madness, and if you want to take it a step further and support what we do, consider becoming a channel member. All right, the stage is set. Let's dive into this.
Section 1. A seismic power shift, the trade mechanics. To truly understand the sheer magnitude of this power shift, we have to start by looking at the cold, hard mechanics of the deal itself. When a player of A.J. Brown's caliber is moved, and let's be clear, we are talking about a three-time Pro Bowler, an absolute dominant physical force who bullies defenders, the compensation has to accurately reflect his monumental value. So here's the breakdown. The Eagles send A.J. Brown to Foxborough. In return, the Patriots surrender a highly coveted 2028 first-round draft pick alongside a 2027 fifth-round pick. And there's a really crucial detail here that you can't miss. According to ESPN, that 2027 selection will actually be the better of New England's two fifth-rounders. Think about what this means. The Patriots are aggressively leveraging their future. They are essentially pushing their chips to the center of the table, betting that A.J. Brown is the exact missing foundational piece they need right this second. Meanwhile, the Eagles secure premium top-tier draft capital to continuously reload and rebuild their roster for years to come.
But let's be totally honest with each other. The draft picks, those were really just the entry fee to sit at the table. The true cost of acquiring a weapon like A.J. Brown is entirely financial. $32 million. Let that number hang in the air for a second. That is the monumental average per-season commitment the New England Patriots have just made, locking Brown in all the way through the 2029 season. This is so much more than just signing a wide receiver to run routes. This is an aggressive, statement-making investment by a franchise that is tired of waiting. New England is declaring, both financially and publicly to the rest of the league, that they are ready to compete at the absolute highest level right now. They are building an absolute war chest around their offense, and A.J. Brown is undeniably the $32 million crown jewel of that operation.
Section 2. The Eagles' emotional goodbye, legacy in Philly.
You know, you can measure a trade in millions of dollars, and you can measure it in draft picks, but you absolutely cannot quantify the emotional toll a move like this takes. For the city of Philadelphia, this isn't just losing a player on a financial spreadsheet. This is a heavy, gut-wrenching goodbye to a legitimate franchise icon. Honestly, no one captured this specific heartbreak better than Eagles legend LeSean McCoy. In a moment of pure, unfiltered respect, McCoy literally poured a drink out on air to honor Brown's departure. He said, and I quote, "The Eagles wouldn't have had a championship if it weren't for A.J. Brown." McCoy hit the nail on the head, making it crystal clear to anyone listening. That 2025 Super Bowl ring, it simply does not happen without number 11 on the field. Jalen Hurts' incredible evolution into a true MVP-caliber quarterback? That doesn't happen without his absolute favorite, most reliable target. The undeniable historical truth is that A.J. Brown was the beating engine of a championship era in Philadelphia. And if you want to know why McCoy's words hold so much heavy weight, just look at this. This perfectly illustrates his point. This isn't just fans looking back with rose-tinted glasses or pure nostalgia. This is backed up by cold, hard, historical dominance. A.J. Brown didn't just casually hold a spot in the Eagles' record books. He completely and utterly rewrote them. Let's look at the stats. In 2022, he racked up a staggering, mind-bending 1,496 yards. And then, as if that wasn't enough, the very next year in 2023, he followed it up with 1,456 yards. He secured the top 2 single-season receiving yard totals in the entire history of the franchise. He was an unstoppable, unguardable force of nature every time he put on that midnight green jersey.
Now, looking back at his timeline, it was a turbulent, fiercely passionate, and wildly successful 4-year stint. It all started with that absolute shock of a draft day trade back in 2022 when he came over from the Titans. He hit the ground running, and by the 2024 season, he reached the absolute pinnacle of the sport, securing a Super Bowl championship for the city. But, as we all know, the NFL is an unforgiving pressure cooker. The highs are incredibly high, but the lows can fracture a team. By the 2025 wildcard round against the 49ers, the cracks really began to show. His role in the offense had noticeably diminished, which led to a highly publicized, incredibly heated sideline exchange with head coach Nick Sirianni. That tension boiled over, ending with a complete media blackout from Brown. You could feel the tension, it was palpable, and finally, that roller coaster journey concludes right here in 2026, with him being traded to the Patriots. He was a brilliant burning star that ultimately ran its natural course in Philly.
But despite all that intense tension at the very end, the actual farewell was pure, unadulterated class. Soon after the massive news broke across the wire, Brown took to Instagram to offer a real sense of closure to the Eagles faithful, the fans who had backed him so fiercely through every single drop and touchdown. He wrote, "Playing for this city has been an honor, and I'm thankful for every moment I had in Midnight Green. Thank you, Philly. Much love always. God bless." In a league that is so often defined by brutal, cold-blooded business decisions, this was a rare moment of genuine, heartfelt mutual respect. It was a quiet, dignified exit for one of the loudest, most explosive playmakers the city has ever seen.
Section 3. New England's New Weapon. Coming full circle.
But here's the reality of the NFL. It does not afford us any time to mourn. The page turns instantly, and the spotlight shifts immediately to Foxborough. The Patriots are a proud franchise, absolutely desperate to return to their former glory, and acquiring A.J. Brown instantly completely supercharges this rebuilding team. Alongside his heartfelt farewell to Philly, Brown gave Patriots fans an absolute frenzy of excitement on his social media. He posted this amazing photo of himself as a young kid, completely draped in New England gear, wearing none other than the legendary number 12 jersey. Yes, Tom Brady's iconic number. His caption read, "How long these pics been in the drafts queued up," complete with laughing emojis. You literally cannot write a better script than this. It is a stunning, cinematic, full-circle moment. The little kid who grew up wearing the Patriots dynasty on his back is now the grown superstar tasked with resurrecting it.
So, what does this brand new Patriots offense actually look like on paper? Honestly, it is lethal. First off, this monumental trade reunites Brown with his former Tennessee Titans head coach, Mike Rabel. This is massive because it provides instant, unbreakable chemistry and trust from day one. Second, he steps in and becomes the ultimate, undeniable alpha target for quarterback Drake May. This gives the young signal caller the premium, elite primary weapon he desperately needs to actually succeed and develop in this league. And finally, he pairs up alongside the newly signed Romeo Doubs. Remember, with veteran Stefon Diggs having been released, the Patriots were staring at a massive, glaring void in the receiver room. In one singular aggressive move, they didn't just fill that void, they completely upgraded it. The entire identity of the New England offense shifted overnight.
Section 4. The Strategic Financial Chess. Why now?
Now, if you are a fan of the strategic side of football, you might be asking yourself a very important question. Why did this happen on a random Monday? Why didn't they do this a week ago? Why not during the massive spectacle of the draft? Well, this trade was an absolute masterclass in strategic financial chess. The specific timing of this blockbuster was dictated entirely by the unforgiving, complex rules of the NFL salary cap, and the Eagles management played the game flawlessly. Just look at this number on your screen, $43,450,000. That is the staggering, absolutely paralyzing amount of dead cap space the Philadelphia Eagles would have been forced to absorb straight to the chin if they had executed this trade just a few days earlier before June 1st. In the NFL, dead cap is literal poison. It is precious money tied up in players who are no longer even walking the halls of your facility, severely crippling your ability to sign new talent or build depth. Taking a $43 million hit in a single season, that is front office suicide. It would have completely and totally dismantled the Eagles' immediate future, trapping them in financial ruin.
And this chart brilliantly illustrates the sheer genius of Eagles general manager Howie Roseman. It's all about patience. By simply waiting until Monday, by holding his nerve until after that crucial June 1st deadline passed, the Eagles triggered a specific league rule that allows them to legally split that devastating financial blow across 2 entirely separate seasons. Instead of drowning all at once, they will take a manageable $16.3 million hit in 2026 and defer the remaining heavier $27.1 million hit to 2027. It is, without a doubt, a front office masterstroke. Think about it. They successfully move a disgruntled star, they acquire a premium first-round draft pick, and they save their entire salary cap from immediate ruin, all by just paying close attention to the calendar.
Section 5. The Chiefs' Receiver Dilemma. The Domino Effect.
But here's the thing about the NFL. When a massive boulder is dropped into a pond, the waves inevitably hit every single shore. A trade executed in the NFC East, sending a star player to the AFC East, has just triggered an absolute code-red, sirens-blaring crisis in the AFC West. Let's really contrast the current realities of these two AFC teams. On one side, you have the New England Patriots, who just triumphantly secured A.J. Brown and locked in a loaded, deeply dangerous offensive arsenal for the foreseeable future. On the exact opposite end of the spectrum, you have the Kansas City Chiefs. The Chiefs were holding out hope. They were quietly monitoring the market, waiting in the weeds for the perfect moment to strike. But with A.J. Brown suddenly off the board, the Chiefs are waking up, looking around, and realizing they are standing in an empty room. The music has officially stopped, the premium free agent options have completely dried up, and Kansas City is left holding absolutely nothing.
And let me tell you, the sheer panic currently setting in for the Chiefs' front office is entirely justified when you take a hard look at their deeply depleted offense. This is a literal nightmare scenario for head coach Andy Reid and quarterback Patrick Mahomes. They are already dealing with the massive looming uncertainty of the Rashee Rice off-field scandal. On top of that, both Marquise Hollywood Brown and Juju Smith-Schuster are gone from the roster. Their recent draft pick, Xavier Worthy, he has been vastly unimpressive over his first 2 years, failing to live up to the hype. And the legendary Travis Kelce, the ultimate safety blanket, he is aging, likely entering his final grueling ride in the league. The weapons are simply gone. The arsenal is bare. You are looking at a situation where the greatest quarterback in the world, Patrick Mahomes, is standing in the pocket while the pocket collapses, with absolutely no reliable target to throw the football to.
So what exactly is the rescue mission here? The Chiefs are firmly backed into a corner, and they must urgently target a veteran wide receiver to save this rapidly approaching season. The massive problem? There are really only 2 viable lifeboats left floating in the water, Stephon Diggs and Deebo Samuel. And let's be real, both of these guys are firmly entering the back end of their primes. Both come with significant, terrifying question marks regarding their overall health and their long-term longevity. But beggars absolutely cannot be choosers in this league. General manager Brett Veach has to make a move, and honestly, he has to make it yesterday, because the rest of the AFC is absolutely not waiting around for Kansas City to figure out their problems.
But here is the brutal kicker. Even if they try to formulate a trade package for Deebo Samuel, or if they try to lure in Stephon Diggs, they are going to run straight, headfirst into a suffocating brick wall. $12.4 million. That is all the available cap space the Kansas City Chiefs currently have to their name, meaning any desperation move they attempt to make for a high-profile, expensive receiver is going to require some incredibly intense, painful financial gymnastics. We're talking about drastically restructured contracts, dangerously pushing money into future void years, and sacrificing crucial roster depth. They will literally have to bleed to make this math work. The A.J. Brown trade didn't just help the Patriots become a contender, it essentially, single-handedly, backed the defending champion Chiefs into a suffocating financial corner.
The dominoes have officially fallen. The balance of power in the NFL has shifted violently in the blink of an eye. The New England Patriots are absolutely loaded, fully weaponized and ready to make a serious run, while the Kansas City Chiefs are left utterly desperate, scrambling in the dark to find a lifeline. So I leave you with this final burning question as we wrap up this explainer. With the viable options fading incredibly fast and their cap space suffocatingly tight, who in the world will Patrick Mahomes throw to now? Drop your wildest theories and predictions in the comments below. I'll be down there reading them. And remember, if you want to stay ahead of every single massive, league-altering shift, make sure you are subscribed to NFL Nexus right now. Hit that like button on this explainer and join as a channel member to support the deep dives we do here. Until next time, keep watching the tape.